He was 77 years old, and the doctors told him flat out, dialysis for the rest of your life. But 8 years later, he walked out of that clinic for the very last time. No more needles, no more machines. His kidneys came back. And today, I want to let you in on exactly how he did it. His daily routine. The foods he ate. And one simple remedy so powerful that some people call it black magic. I have to warn you, what I'm about to share will make you angry. Because right now, over 112,000 people are hooked up to dialysis machines, needlessly. That's hundreds of thousands of hours, blood pumping through tubes, for people whose kidneys could actually recover. But no one tells them. Here's the truth no one talks about: once you're on dialysis, the system stops trying. They stop testing your kidney function. They stop looking for recovery. You're not a patient anymore, you're a paying customer. And it breaks my heart. But listen, your kidneys aren't gone. They're not dead. They're crying out for help. And there's a way to answer that call. A real, published, peer-reviewed protocol that has already freed people after years of dialysis. It works through simple changes: foods that clear toxins better than any machine, a lifestyle shift that helps your body handle sodium and fluids naturally, and yes, one remedy researchers believe is the real key. Put it all together, and the impossible happens: dialysis ended. Not reduced. Not managed. Ended. Of course, you should always talk to your doctor. But know this: everything I'm about to show you is 100% natural, safe, and documented in medical journals. Maybe your doctor hasn't seen it yet. But you will today. So let me tell you this story. A 77-year-old man, 8 long years on dialysis, written off by the medical system. Everyone told him, this is your life now. But then this protocol. His kidneys didn't just budge a little, his GFR more than doubled, from 5.8 to 13. That's unheard of. From dialysis forever to goodbye dialysis center. His blood pressure settled down, his potassium balanced out, and this is huge: his urine output doubled. If you know anything about dialysis, you know that's the holy grail. When someone on dialysis starts making more urine again, that's not just improvement. That's a miracle unfolding. And here's what makes me so excited: his doctors wrote down everything. Every single food, every supplement, every lifestyle tweak, even one remedy so powerful it stopped me in my tracks. Nothing hidden. No gatekeeping. It's all here, and I'm about to walk you through it. Let's start where it all began: as food. Because what this man put on his plate didn't just set him free from dialysis. It's the kind of diet that could protect you from ever ending up there in the first place. The report listed 5 foods he ate every single day. And the first one? I've never even mentioned it here before. You're going to love this: it's called juju vinegar. Strange name, right? But for him, it made a real difference. So what exactly is juju vinegar, and why does it matter for your kidneys? Think of it as a very natural, very traditional vinegar that's been made the same way for generations. Nothing fancy, no chemicals, just the juice of the juju fruit slowly fermented. It's raw, unfiltered, unpasteurized, and yes, it still has the mother. Now, if that word makes you laugh, let me explain. The mother isn't a scary thing, it's actually a living colony of good bacteria that makes this vinegar so powerful for your gut and, ultimately, your kidneys. Here's why it matters. Drinking juju vinegar regularly has been shown to boost the good bacteria in your gut like lactobacillus. And when that happens, your body gets better at lowering uremic toxins, the very toxins that clog up the system and land so many people on dialysis in the first place. Now, you're probably wondering, where do I even find this stuff? The good news is, some Asian markets carry it, and you can even track it down online. And if you're thinking, great, as if kidney disease wasn't complicated enough, now I need boutique, artisanal vinegar, don't worry, the researchers also found a much more common version that works just as well, as long as it has the mother. I'm talking about raw apple cider vinegar ACV, as most of us call it. And if you've been with me here on O Kidney for a while, you know I've sung its praises more times than I can count. Honestly, by now you might feel like leaving the house without ACV is like forgetting your keys or your phone. Keys, wallet, phone, little bottle of apple magic. That's the routine, right? But if you're new here and wondering, why all the fuss? The answer is simple: probiotics. Sure, ACV has a great reputation for helping balance blood sugar, which is why people with diabetes love it. But that's not the reason it helped this 77-year-old man break free from dialysis. Remember the mother? She's not some scary ingredient, it's a living colony of good bacteria. Billions of tiny helpers working around the clock to clean up your gut, support your digestion, and, in turn, ease the toxic burden on your kidneys. Here's the part most doctors never talk about: your gut bacteria are doing more for your kidneys than your last 3 nephrology appointments combined. I'll even say this: fixing your gut might just be the fastest way to fix your kidneys. Because your gut and kidneys? They're in a very close relationship. When one is happy, the other thrives. But when one's in trouble, the other pays the price. And for too many people, that price is dialysis. Here's something fascinating: the entire diet of this 77-year-old man was built around probiotic-rich foods. It wasn't just apple cider vinegar, he was filling his plate with other living, beneficial bacteria, too. One of them? Sauerkraut. If you've never tried it, sauerkraut is simply fermented cabbage. Think of it as German engineering for your gut: efficient, reliable, maybe a little funky in smell, but absolutely powerful. Thanks to fermentation, sauerkraut is loaded with nutrition you won't get from regular cabbage. How powerful? Depending on how it's prepared, a single gram can hold millions, even hundreds of millions of live bacteria, often with a mix of different strains. And when it comes to kidney health, the more strains, the better. Now here's the interesting part. Our kidney survivor didn't eat mountains of it, just a small amount every day. But it wasn't the cheap stuff you find sitting on a grocery store shelf. It was special. Why? Because real sauerkraut has to be alive. That means raw and unpasteurized. Pasteurized sauerkraut, the kind most supermarkets sell, has had all the live bacteria cooked out of it. At that point, you're basically eating salty cabbage. And salty cabbage alone isn't going to change your kidneys. Pasteurized sauerkraut is like the participation trophy of fermented foods: it shows up, but it doesn't really do anything. So if you want the benefits, you either learn to make it yourself at home, or you find a brand that clearly says raw, fermented, and probiotic on the label. The good stuff usually costs more, but remember, you only need a small spoonful each day. And sauerkraut wasn't the only thing. His diet was full of probiotics at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He also included homemade yogurt and kefir, especially while he was still on dialysis. I've put together a table you can see on screen now, showing the probiotic foods he used and a few tips on how to make them work for your kidneys, too. And I know what some of you are probably thinking right now: wait, don't you always say to avoid animal-based foods? And yes, that's true. But here's the plot twist: this patient started the protocol while he was still on dialysis. And when your kidneys aren't doing the work themselves, sometimes the rules change a little. If you're not on dialysis, my advice is the same as always: stick to fermented, plant-based foods and skip the dairy. That's still the safest, cleanest path for protecting your kidneys. But if you are on dialysis, things work differently. Dialysis clears many of the toxins your body makes from breaking down protein, but not all of them. For example, it's not very good at clearing phosphorus, which is why so many dialysis patients need binders. And when it comes to protein-bound toxins like indoxyl sulfate and precressyl sulfate, well, let's just say those are the dark villains of kidney disease. You don't want them building up in your body. That's why I still recommend keeping animal protein intake as low as possible. But there are exceptions. Some animal-based foods, like yogurt and kefir, can actually bring real benefits, thanks to their probiotics. For this patient, those foods played an important role. No matter where you are on your kidney journey, one thing holds true: fermented foods like sauerkraut and apple cider vinegar are powerful allies. They can make a real difference whether you're on dialysis or fighting to stay far away from it. Are probiotic supplements a valid alternative? Now, I know some of you might be thinking, okay, but what if I'm just not into all this fermented food stuff? And honestly, I get it. Not everyone wants their kitchen smelling like a kombucha brewery. Or maybe you just prefer your food to stay, well, food, not bubbling away like something out of a science experiment. So here's the question: could you just take a probiotic supplement instead and be done with it? Well, in the study we've been looking at, the patient used food, not supplements. But here's the good news: science actually supports both. In fact, one probiotic capsule can often deliver more beneficial bacteria than all the sauerkraut, kefir, and apple cider vinegar you could possibly eat in a day. And it gets better: we now know which specific bacterial strains are the most effective at protecting kidneys. Not all probiotics are created equal, but a supplement that's designed with CKD in mind can target uremic toxins far more efficiently than food alone. So yes, there's a very strong case for probiotic supplements in kidney patients. The only thing I'd stress is this: choose wisely. Make sure the supplement is tailored for people with CKD, so you're getting the right strains in the right amounts and nothing that could do more harm than good. My very own probiotic supplement. If you want to try a probiotic that's truly designed for kidney health, I have something I'm incredibly proud of: Renobiotic. I created this formula with you in mind, the first probiotic supplement in the world made specifically for people with CKD. It's gentle, effective, and 100% kidney safe. Even better, it's low FODMAP, which means it's safe for people with gut sensitivities, too. Inside are specialized strains of probiotics, chosen because they've been shown to reduce kidney-damaging toxins. And remember, a supplement alone won't replace smart food choices. But the right probiotic can give your kidneys real support and make the journey a little easier. Is this remedy black magic? Now let's talk about the part you've been waiting for: the remedy the doctors themselves used to jumpstart this patient's kidneys back to life. It's something so powerful, some people call it black magic. It's black seed oil, also known as Nigella sativa. That's the plant it comes from. Sometimes you'll see it called black cumin or simply black seed. Whatever the name, make sure the label says Nigella sativa if you decide to buy it. This isn't just folklore. Black seed oil didn't just help one 77-year-old man get off dialysis, it was also tested in a larger study of 136 patients with stage 4 CKD. And the results? Jaw-dropping. On average, their GFR improved by 20 points in just 12 weeks. Let that sink in. 20 points. That's not just improvement, that's revival. That's moving from barely holding on to maybe we can cancel that transplant evaluation. Now, in that study, every patient was also put on a low-protein diet with keto analogs, which we know helps kidney function. But remember, everyone in the study got the same diet. The difference came from those who also took black seed oil. And that's where the magic happened. By the way, the 77-year-old dialysis survivor we've been talking about? He was also on a semi-plant-based, low-protein diet while taking black seed oil. That combination seems to be key. That's all for today, my friends. Thank you so much for being here with me. Take care of your kidneys, God bless you, and I'll see you next time.